Afternoon. So welcome to this class on research methodology. और इस particular जो मेरा session रहेगा, उसमें we will be looking at 2 units of your type first one paper, and this is what we will be covering. Unit 1. What is research? Objectives of research. What is scientific research? Research theory. आज की क्लास में hopefully we will be able to cover most of these topics in unit 1. So what is the purpose? What are the learning objectives? So the basic idea is all of you are entering into your PhD program, and as part of research methodology, the idea is that there should be some understanding as to why the scientific research is being taken. And more importantly, what is the overall process or design in which a research study should be conducted, right from the beginning to the end. Now this is very important because कहते हैं ना, first step well taken is the journey becomes easier, right? Because if your first step, your first question, the first research problem that you are thinking about, if there is good clarity about what you want to do, then the methodology that you are adopting will also become clear. इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि हम चेंज नहीं कर सकते हैं चीजों को, बट फिर भी हम जब भी कोई चीज शुरू करते हैं तो जब एक क्लैरिटी और एक फोकस ऑफ पर्पस के साथ शुरू करते हैं तो उस काम का में हमको पूर्णतः सक्सेस मिलने के चांसेस उतने ही बढ़ जाते हैं. एंड दैट इज द होल पर्पस ऑफ स्टडीइंग व्हाट इज रिसर्च एंड व्हाट इज रिसर्च मेथोडोलॉजी, सो दैट यू कैन अप्लाई these theoretical techniques or theoretical information about what is research to your own respective disciplines. Then it is also important to know what are the different types of research. So you can take a subject or a topic, but what all are the different dimensions जिसपे कि आप लोग काम कर सकते हैं, क्या क्या अलग अलग methodologies हैं. और सिर्फ ये जानना important नहीं है कि methodology क्या है, बट ये भी समझना इंपॉर्टेंट है कि कौन सी मेथोडोलॉजी एक्सेप्टेबल है इन द साइंटिफिक कम्युनिटी. ओके, बिकॉज अल्टीमेटली पता चला कि हमने 3-4 साल या 1 साल कुछ काम कर लिया एंड देन वी फिगर कि भैया हमारा ये कंट्रोल मिसिंग है, राइट? या हमारी रिसर्च मेथोडोलॉजी में हमने इनफ सैंपल साइज नहीं लिया है, या ये डिस्क्रिप्टिव रिसर्च है, हमको थोड़ा और हम इसमें कुछ एनालिटिकल कंपोनेंट इनिशियली ही अगर इंट्रोड्यूस कर दिए होते तो हमारा रिसर्च बहुत इफेक्टिव होता. सो इट मेक्स अ लॉट ऑफ सेंस टू थिंक अबाउट ऑल द डिफरेंट वेज दैट यू कैन टैकल योर रिसर्च प्रॉब्लम, एंड दैट इज द पर्पस ऑफ दीज 2 units. And finally, hopefully by the end of these 2 units, the main thing that you would probably be able to do is somewhere in your own disciplines understand how to identify a research problem. Of course, आपका अपना सब्जेक्ट है तो उसके जो theoretical basis है वो आपको ही पढ़नी पड़ेगी, लेकिन क्या aspects आप लोग उसमें consider करें ताकि एक effective research problem create आप कर सकें. That would be the purpose of these 2 units. So let us start from the beginning. Okay, so what is the difference? What is research? So we are going to spend few minutes talking about what is research. And to know what is research, first let us dissect this word, research. तो अगर आप search की definition देखें, तो आजकल हम लोग सभी search करते हैं. We are master Google searchers. Now, when we are doing these type of searches, we are also looking for information. In our minds, we are also doing some type of analysis. भैया पहला वाला कौन सा subject से मुझे किस search engine को use करना है, कौन सा search मुझे possibly specific information देगा. But typically you will agree that most of our Google searches are pretty non-scientific. In the sense, it's like opening a book and randomly looking at things to see कि हमें यहाँ कुछ मिल जाए या वहाँ कुछ मिल जाए. And then randomly we open, search the search pages and randomly look around to see if we can, find some keywords. So it's a good purpose. I mean, it has helped us a lot, definitely. But that is a search. We are only doing a search stage, right? So search is a non-scientific means and a random process of looking for some form of information. So what is research then? ये re word क्यों है इसमें? Now here also we are doing some form of search, but we are looking again and again. So re का मतलब वही है, to repeatedly do something, repeat, everywhere, relive. Re is to do it again and again. Why? Why do something again and again? So you will all agree with me कि अगर हम पहली बार कोई चीज देखते हैं तो एक हमारा ब्रेन एक तरीके से उस चीज को एनालाइज करता है. जब उसको पुनः देखते हैं, now our brain will try to put it into some format. We look at it again, we may try to classify it, we may try to analyze it. So this process of looking at something again and again opens up vistas which we also don't know what. When we are looking at something again, what all is happening in our cognitive, place in our brain. And when this kind of research is done in a scientific manner, knowingly done, then the definition of research becomes a systematic foundation through which new knowledge is attained, existing knowledge is improved, and new techniques and processes are developed. Okay, we'll come back to this definition again because I am going to spend some time in hopefully allowing you to think about what is research. Okay, and I'd like to do this by taking quotations from some of the important scientists, the people who have made important contributions, of how they were looking at research. And I would also like you all to think कि जब अगर ये हमारा normal interactive classroom होता था, I would have spent some time in asking you what is it that you think is research. But since we are in this recording phase, I would urge you to think about it in your mind, even though this seems to be like a one-way process. But think about what Albert Szent-Györgyi had to say. So he is a Nobel Prize laureate in the pharmacology field, known for his work on vitamins, and he's had something to say about research. Research is seeing what everybody else is seeing. Okay, we've seen something, but thinking what nobody else has thought. Okay, so the problems are all around us, but nobody has taken the effort to think about that problem. So the idea of showing you these quotations is for you to think about, possibly, maybe it may be in a very broad way, but in your particular discipline, what is an area of research that you would like to get into? Okay, it may not be exactly जो आप करें, may not be what your guide is given, but can we be a little open-minded in this couple of classes in thinking कि आपके particular subject में ऐसे कौन सी चीज है जो आप देखे हैं, observe किए हैं, but somebody has never really thought why it happens, how it is happening. So, okay? Now I'm going to take some examples even from humanities side, because today it is an age of multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary research. And here, Connell, Australian sociologist, she says that research is something everyone can do. Okay, we are doing research all the time, and everyone ought to do. So it is a process in which your thinking, your analytical skills, your critical skills should be developed. So as an evolved human being, this is what we want. We want to go just one step ahead in just seeing something. Right? And she also adds it is simply collecting information and thinking systematically about it. Okay? Neil Armstrong. So I have tried to take examples not only from academics, but people who have contributed in different ways. So their research in their field. Neil Armstrong says research is creating new knowledge. Okay, he was first man on moon. His entire mission was about creating new knowledge about space, about moon, and all the sciences that went along with it. Okay. Bill Gates. Bill Gates thinks research in terms of innovation. Okay, innovation is thinking something new. अभी तक जो हमने पहले definition देखे, उसके और बीच में देखे थोड़ा अंतर है. ये कह रहे हैं कि जो already है, जो already exist करता है, उसको observe करिए, उसके बारे में सोचिए. ये scientists कह रहे हैं कि नहीं, research is something new. It has to do with when you're doing something new, when you're doing something innovative. And Bill Gates even seems to think that research is something that, is what is research is something that will get funded. So that is another thought. क्या किस चीज में research होना चाहिए? Yeah, is research something that you will get funding on, or should you be doing research and get funding for it? Okay. And then I think I close this series of quotation with Albert Einstein's quote, where he gives a very profound type of question. He says, if you knew what you were doing, it wouldn't be called research, would it? Okay, so this is a completely different way of thinking about research. Okay, so he is trying to say कि in a way आप argue कर सकते हो, but he is saying कि वही चीज बार-बार करने का कोई point नहीं है. करना research तो कोई नई चीज करो, पर आपको ऐसे लोग भी मिलेंगे जो ऐसे करेंगे. कोई नई field में research करो, तब तो कोई बात है, right? So then, what do you think is research? What for you is important as research? Okay, so now if we even go into the theory of research, now research as a word can be used as a noun, it can be used as a verb. I'm doing research, this is my research. So again we come to definition of research, this is Oxford Dictionary research. They talk of systematic investigation. Now, क्योंकि ये जो subject हम पढ़ रहे हैं theoretical है, words बहुत important हैं. Okay, what investigation means, what observation means, these words become important. Many of us from the sciences side, so we don't pay attention to the literal meaning of these words. Right? Look at this. This is a systematic investigation into material and sources in order to establish facts. Now we come to another word. Is research always about establishing facts? Okay? And they say reach new conclusions. You need to make new conclusions about whatever person's resource, whatever thing that you are looking into. That is known as research, according to the Oxford Dictionary. And of course, as a verb, if you are doing research, again we come back to the fact that if you are doing something systematically in a scientific manner, then that would be known as research. Now here you have a WHO research methodology definition of research. And according to the WHO research methodology or research terminology, it says that research is a quest for knowledge through diligent observation, comparison, investigation or experimentation. Okay, so we are looking at 4 things that you can do. You can observe, you can compare, you can investigate, you can experiment. And then they add, this is aimed at discovery of new knowledge as well as interpretation of new knowledge. So interpretation means we will be looking at existing knowledge. Okay, so now if you think about it, if I even go back to the very first definition that I showed you about research, this pretty much really covers what research is. Research सबसे पहले requires a systematic foundation. Okay, अगर आप कीवर्ड सोचिए, what is research? अगर इस तरह का सवाल आपसे कोई पूछे, so it has to have a systematic foundation. And if you think about it, there are 3 things that we covered in the quotations that people are given. Each one was looking at research from their point of view. So here, first is new knowledge is created. New innovation or new knowledge is created. You can do any systematic study, but some new knowledge or conclusion आना चाहिए आपकी स्टडी में से. Second point देखिए, existing knowledge is improved. Okay, so it need not necessarily be कि हर बार आप कुछ धमाकेदार कोई नई चीज ही लेके आ रहे हैं. It could be that as part of your research, कोई धारणा रही है research की, and you have improved upon it. And finally, third point, which has become really very applicable in today's generation. Okay, there is an entire field of research which insists that research must convert into some type of technology or some process or some innovative product. Okay, so research need not be for the purpose of only research alone, but it should translate into something that is useful for humanity. Okay. So the third aspect is that some new technique process should be produced from what we call as research. So research ultimately, अगर आप language को use करो, so this statement I really like. It is the art of scientific investigation. Because we always think research is only got to do with science, but ultimately when you think about research as a subject, it becomes the art of doing scientific investigations. And then what is research methodology? Because the entire paper is about research methodology. अब आप research किसी भी तरह से define करेंगे. Ultimately क्या processes, क्या methodology आप pertinent information को किसी specific topic को generate करने में use करेंगे, that is known as the research methodology. So you have another topic. The topic is scientific research. So we expanded about research. Now you all know research can be done in any field. It can be in the arts field, it can be in the humanities field. But we are all assembled here as science students. So then, is there any difference between the type of research that a business student is doing, business management student is doing, a humanities student is doing, and a science student is doing? What would you say? Do you think there is a difference? In what way?
Data.
I would say that you're right. It's in the subject that you are studying, right? And based on what subject you are studying and what questions you are going to ask, on that is going to depend how you are going to do it. And that is the reason research maybe in a business or a humanities and scientific would differ. Okay? So scientific research typically is research conducted for the purpose of contributing towards science. Number one, see, we are saying science. It's not towards humanities or business management, but it is towards any kind of contribution towards science. And we again come back to the 3 points: systematic collection, interpretation, and evaluation of data in a planned manner is called as scientific research. Okay? And a researcher would be anyone who conducts this research. So moving on, what are characteristics of research? First point, so this is all theoretical points, but this is part of research theory. The first point is that a systematic approach is necessary for doing anything called research. Otherwise it is going to be called a search. ठीक? Systematic approach किस लिए चाहिए? It is needed to generate accuracy in your data. If you don't have systematic, so you have to have some kind of rules and procedures when you are conducting something that is research. और ये rules of procedure are integral part of the process that sets the objective. जो भी research objective आपने set किया है, as soon as you have set an objective for your research, rules and whatever procedure you are going to do become part of that systematic process. The second point, which has also come in this, is particularly for scientific research, one needs to practice ethics. अब ये ethics कहाँ पे आ जाता है? For example, some of you are medicinal biochemistry students. Some of you may be coming from health sciences. Right? Some of you are life science students. Some of you are physics, chemistry, mathematics students. Now I know definitely for any studies that you want to do in humans, with human subject, you need the Human Ethical Committee Clearance Certification. पता चला आपने 3 साल रिसर्च भी कर ली, लेकिन अगर आप फंडिंग के लिए अप्लाई कर देंगे या आप अपना पेपर जब पब्लिश करने चले जाते हैं, अपने वर्क को पब्लिश करने चले जाते हैं, it will not be acceptable because you have not gotten the Human Ethical Clearance Certificate in the beginning. Similarly, for bioscience students who are using any kind of genetic vectors, pathogenic organisms, there is an Institute Biological Safety Committee which has to clear the use of these vectors and organisms before you can publish this work. So you have to give a statement saying that all ethical clearance has been performed. अगर आप कोई सर्वे कर रहे हैं फिजियोथेरेपी स्टूडेंट्स में भी, आपने जो भी सब्जेक्ट था उसका कंसेंट लिया है कि नहीं लिया है प्रॉपर फॉर्मेट में, तो आपका फॉर्मेट इज योर रूल एंड रेगुलेशन. अगर वो फॉर्मेट प्रॉपरली फॉलो नहीं हुआ है, then after doing months of research, could be your data would not have the kind of significance it needs to have had you gotten that clearance in the beginning. So whatever research you are doing, it is very, very important for you to have clarity about what are the ethical clearances that need to be made sure that your research work needs to be done before you take it out. Right? Now, second point is research is typically based on logical reasoning. That's what we say scientists are. Like जो लोग science में जाते हैं, they have a logical bent of mind. So you need some form of logical reasoning. Why is something happening? अब मुझे लगा इसलिए, इसका सेल का मन कर रहा है इसलिए वो ऐसा behave कर रहा है. You know, those are not acceptable explanations for any phenomena. Right? And this will involve both deductive and inductive methodology. Okay, so you can have a top-down approach as well as a bottom-up approach to your logical reasoning. ये ऐसा हो रहा है क्योंकि ऐसा है, या ऐसा हो रहा है शायद इसलिए ऐसा है. Both approaches you may have to use in your logical thinking process. Third, very important, जो भी data या knowledge हम research से derive कर रहे हैं, that has to be from actual observations. Right? I mean, this is really, this point is very important from the point of view of, plagiarism or, scientific ethics, honesty, that your data has to be based on actual observations. And not only that, it is important that you keep data logs. आप लोग अपना practical books रखेंगे with raw data, which shows that you have taken observations on falana day. So it is very important to keep your record books. मतलब मेरा सिर्फ ये स्टेटमेंट यहाँ पे कहना कि हाँ एक्चुअल ऑब्जर्वेशन से है और आप मान लें, इतना तक ना छोड़ के इस स्टेटमेंट के बेसिस ये है कि आप लोग जब अपना रिसर्च करें तो बहुत केयरफुली अपने जो प्रैक्टिकल लॉग बुक्स हैं उसको मेंटेन करें. मेक श्योर दैट डे टू डे यू आर रिकॉर्डिंग व्हाटएवर ऑब्जर्वेशंस यू हैव. If there is any instrument which has given some printout to you, you paste that printout there. If there is a picture you have taken of a gel, or if the patient has given you consent, make sure that you are keeping a logbook of your actual observations. Now this is important because you never know in future if you have to prove that you actually did the research. Secondly, if you want to, for example, at the end of your research, if you want to, apply for patent, patent requires you to have a logbook. So a good scientific practice which will help you in your research कि आप पहले से ही उस बुक को मेंटेन करके रखें. Moreover, this type of actual observations in natural settings can give you sometimes, you can make serendipitous observations. Because you would probably want to go back and see, your data इस तरह से आया था, I was not expecting it, it seems to be repeating. So you may discover something new because you put it down, whether it was negative data. So many times research में हम लोग क्या करते हैं, अगर एक्सपेरिमेंट काम नहीं किया तो हम लिखते ही नहीं है उसमें. You say कि something went wrong, so I am not recording the results. But you never know, maybe those results actually do mean something. They are just not matching what you have predefined कि मुझे ऐसे रिजल्ट मिलने चाहिए और ये ऐसा नहीं मिला, इसलिए मैंने उसको करार कर दिया कि एक्सपेरिमेंट ही बेकार. And time and again I have observed this in my research. People, students will come and say कि मैम वो एक्सपेरिमेंट ही नहीं काम किया. ऐसे डेटा दिखाओ, क्या किया था इसमें? वो गलती से इतना वॉल्यूम की जगह इतना यूज कर लिया था या कॉन्सेंट्रेशन चेंज कर दिया था, बट उस कॉन्सेंट्रेशन पे हमें कोई फिनोमेना दिख गया जो कि वी वर नॉट एमिंग फॉर, बट वाज मोर इंपॉर्टेंट देन द एक्सपेरिमेंट वी हैड एक्चुअली डिजाइन्ड. राइट? सो दिस इज अ रियली रियली इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट दैट योर रिसर्च, फॉर योर रिसर्च, द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक इज दैट इट शुड बी बेस्ड ऑन एक्चुअल रिसर्च. Fourth point, in-depth analysis of all the data that is collected. In your record, this is also very important. Okay, to prove that the research has been done by you, it has been done repeatedly again and again. All this will come when as soon as your experiment research data is available, you do your analysis then and there. Many times my students will keep getting data. So, a lot of the work I do, we do some type of microbiological work where we do growth experiments or we do ELISA data. तो माइक्रोटाइटर प्लेट में एक साथ 96 डेटा आ जाता है जो भी हमने ट्रिप्लिकेट में भी किया हो. तो स्टूडेंट्स काफी बार दे विल बी लेजी, दे से कि बाद में एनालिसिस करेंगे इसकी. एंड इन दैट मेनी टाइम्स they miss out on a lot of information that they could have used for designing the next experiment. So this is also a very important point. 5. What is the characteristic of any research you have done? Finally, you collected the data, you analyzed it. It should create path for generating new questions. And that will only happen when you have done the analysis. If your research has not had any analysis in it, आपने data collect कर लिया, उसको रिपोर्ट भी कर दिया, फिर उसका एनालिसिस नहीं किया कि ऐसा क्यों है, ऐसा हमको क्यों मिल रहा है ऑब्जर्वेशन, इस ज्योग्राफिकल एरिया में क्यों मिल रहा है या इस टाइम पीरियड में क्यों मिल रहा है, यू प्रोबेबली विल नॉट बी इन अ पोजीशन टू आस्क न्यू क्वेश्चंस. ऐसा ही क्यों हुआ, बारिशों के टाइम में ये रिजल्ट क्यों आ रहे हैं, एंड यू कुड प्रोबेबली फ्रॉम योर ओन रिसर्च व्हाट यू आर डूइंग जनरेट मे बी अनदर रिसर्च पेपर. Because now you are thinking of it in terms of a different variable or a different angle, maybe a temporal angle or a geographical location angle. Existing data always helps to create more opportunities for research. और ये हमने research की definition में भी देखा. If research was always everything about new things, and we didn't have to bother about what people had done before, then this point would not have arisen. All our research, you will see, whatever research problem you decide to choose, it is going to be based on looking at, doing literature survey, looking at what other research people have done. तो कहते हैं ना, किसी के कंधों पे आप चढ़ने वाले हो. Somebody has already done work. You are going to climb on their shoulders to ask new questions, achieve new type of research objectives. 6. Research will make use of all available data, so there is no ambiguity in inference. What is ambiguity? What do you understand by ambiguity? So having ये and this too and this too, right? That is something that is ambiguous. हमें नहीं पता कि ये भी हो रहा है और वो भी हो रहा है. Now such situations may arise in your research, but if you are of scientific bent of mind, that ambiguity you may, when you do analysis, realize कि इस तरह का result मुझे under certain specified conditions आता है, इस तरह का रिजल्ट अंडर सर्टेन स्पेसिफाइड कंडीशंस आता है. अगर इस तरह का आपका कलेक्शन ऑफ डेटा के टाइम पे पूरा आपने रिकॉर्ड नहीं रखा है और सडनली सिर्फ लास्ट मिनट पे आपका डेटा आप देखने लग जाओगे, यू विल थिंक दैट इट इज एम्बिगुअस, एंड देयर इज नो प्लेस फॉर एम्बिग्विटी इन साइंटिफिक रिसर्च. यू कुड हैव एम्बिगुअस डेटा, बट यू कैन एक्सप्लेन इट इफ यू हैव data and you have been able to analyze it. Always remember that. Accuracy is one of the most important aspects of research. Because so when you will be doing statistical data analysis, तब ये टॉपिक शायद और आप डीप में पढ़ेंगे कि हम accuracy कैसे create कर सकते हैं, so on and so forth. But accuracy is, what do you mean by accuracy here? What do you understand by accuracy? How can research be accurate? So you can go into the mathematical aspects. Sir ने बड़े सही से बोला. You can look at level of significance. The fact is that whenever we are doing the experiment, again, if whichever laboratory we are doing, whichever conditions we are doing, they are controlled conditions. Control condition means when you do statistics, this will become even more clear. That you are keeping as many variables important as deserved in that research. Your accuracy will go up. और ये कैसे decide होगा? ये decide होगा आपके research design में. आपने क्या rules follow किए हैं? आप कितनी बार उसी experiment को repeat कर रहे हैं? 3 बार कर रहे हैं, 6 बार कर रहे हैं. उस डेटा को आप किस तरह से एनालाइज कर रहे हैं, ये आप कब डिसाइड करेंगे? एक्सपेरिमेंट करने के पहले आपको डिसाइड करना पड़ेगा. और ये सब आएगा रिसर्च मेथोडोलॉजी में। तो पता चला एम्बिगुअस डेटा आ रहा है, एक्यूरेसी नहीं आ रही है, ऑलरेडी 1 साल बीत चुका है, कि तब के तब उन कंडीशन में बारिशों में 3 बार कर दिया होता तो पॉसिबल था कि यू वुड हैव रिसीव्ड सम काइंड ऑफ एक्यूरेसी इन द डेटा। एंड देयरफॉर दिस पॉइंट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट व्हेन यू आर डिजाइनिंग योर रिसर्च। हाउ डू आई मेक माय रिसर्च डिजाइन so that my data has maximum accuracy? Don't go for the fact कि हमें data collect करना है. The question you ask will decide the accuracy of the information that you are receiving. ये तो हमको घर में भी होता है ना, आप पूछोगे कि वो किताब कहाँ रखी है, फिर वो पूछेंगे कौन सी किताब। अब जितना आप स्पेसिफिकली पूछोगे, वो किताब जो लाल रंग की है, जिसमें रिसर्च मेथोडोलॉजी लिखा हुआ है, जिसके ऑथर कोठारी हैं, जो मैं कल लाइब्रेरी से लेके आई थी, वो कहाँ है, maybe you are going to get a good answer for that, rather than looking around all the place. So, when you are designing your research, you must keep all these points into consideration. Now, how, for example, since you are all scientists, you would-be scientists, how do you maintain accuracy in scientific research? Number one, the laboratory that you are working in. Okay, it is very important for you to create conditions in the laboratory. अगर already very well established lab है, fantastic. Maybe you are taking on some new type of research, जिसका उस lab में conditions आप खुद ही develop कर रहे हैं. Then it is your responsibility as a researcher to make sure to find out and create controlled conditions for the experiment you are doing. And maybe this would be, this is true for physicists, chemists, biologists, all of us who are simulating something in the laboratory. Okay, and why is this important? Why controlled conditions? Because we want to have the same conditions every time we do the experiment. चाहे जनवरी हो या फरवरी हो या मार्च हो या बारिश हो रही हो, अगर हमने पहले से ही डिजाइन ऑफ एक्सपेरिमेंटल डिजाइन ऐसा बना रखा है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल एज अ माइक्रोबायोलॉजिस्ट, सपोज आई एम यूजिंग सम ऑर्गेनिज्म, राइट? सो व्हाट काइंड ऑफ कंट्रोल्स आई एम इंक्लूडिंग इन माय स्टडी would be a simple example which is applicable to any of you, physicists or chemists or anyone. What kind of reference cultures have I introduced into my system from the very beginning? Okay, so reference standards are one way. You will always know that your results are accurate because the reference standard is supposed to give a certain type of result. Okay, then accuracy in the instruments used. Controlled laboratory conditions में क्या आएगा? अगर आपका equipment, ये हमारी जिम्मेदारी हो जाती है साइंटिस्ट, टू मेक श्योर दैट द इंस्ट्रूमेंट इज कैलिब्रेटेड प्रॉपर्ली. कई बार इंस्ट्रूमेंट रखा है, हम रीडिंग भी ले रहे हैं, नोबडी हैज बॉदर्ड टू कैलिब्रेट इट. आप कल ये नहीं सकते, कह नहीं सकते कि लैब टेक्नीशियन नहीं किया, 3 साल बाद आपकी पीएचडी है, राइट? सो इट इज आवर जॉब, and I'm giving this example to you based on practical experience in working in laboratories like those which we have in our university, where we have to take zimmedari of our own research. So make sure that the instruments that you are using are calibrated, whether they are micropipettes or a spectrophotometer or anything. Make it your responsibility. Calibration of instruments, tools, and of course statistical analysis आप इस course में पढ़ेंगे. That is also our responsibility to make sure that we use the accurate statistical analysis when we are, taking care of our data. So moving on to a more theoretical topic, which is part of your syllabus, objectives and motivation. So, what is your motivation for taking on research? So, maybe your motivation is any of this. So, अगर हम motivation देखेंगे, I think most of us, first of all, are motivated to get a research degree. Now, many of us are after getting a PhD, right? And getting that PhD can have its consequences for job, or maybe a promotion, whatever. Second, maybe you do have a desire to face challenges solving problems. Now, why I like this topic, this particular slide? Because actually all of us are here. I have PhD students who come to me, and when I'm designing a research problem for them, I often ask them what is their motivation. Because each of these motivations, for the same microbiology work that I am doing, I can give them different research areas to work on. Okay? How much time that they are able to give to the research, what kind of problem they are interested in solving, I can choose a different research study for them for the same topic. And possibly आप लोगों को भी अपने आप को सवाल पूछने पड़ेंगे. With reasoning कि your commitment to your PhD involves how much time you want to give, how much time you have to do in-depth research, to do literature survey, do experimental work and so on and so forth. Now maybe some of you are really here to get some creative kick. So for the same research problem, you could come up with a creative touch to your research problem. Something that nobody has done before. Are you willing to take that kind of risk? Research में भी risk factor होता है. कौन से रिसर्च से 2 पेपर निकल के मेरी पीएचडी मिल जाएगी वर्सेस कि पता नहीं इसमें कुछ मिलेगा कि नहीं मिलेगा लेकिन आई हैव अ वेरी बर्निंग डिजायर टू यूज माय टाइम टू सॉल्व दिस प्रॉब्लम. Okay, and I will get some research publication out of it also, no problem. But मेरा primary motivation है कि this is the problem I want to solve. So all of you need to ask yourself this question before you get into what type of research you want to do. Your guide may give you some research topic, but घूम फिर के उसको fine tune करके specific theme area, ये choice आपका है. आप उन पे छोड़ सकते हैं, फिर आप उनकी मर्जी पे हैं, या आप उसको अपना लीजिए और खुद चूज करिए कि उस पर्टिकुलर रिसर्च एरिया में कहाँ कितने हद तक आपका मोटिवेशन अलाउ करता है आपको रिसर्च करने के लिए. Then of course, desire to be service to society, earn respect, all these things will motivate research in anyone, including any of us. Now coming to more things about what are objectives of research. Okay, so the purpose of research, we have talked again and again, is to discover answer to questions. Researchers always ask questions. Have you heard about the 5 whys and 1 H? 5 W's and 1 H सुना है आपने? 5 W and 1 H. ये कॉन्सेप्ट काफी पॉपुलर है बिजनेस मैनेजमेंट. या आप कोई भी टॉपिक को अगर हैंडल कर रहे हैं तो यू शुड आस्क why, when, what, where, why and then how. Okay, and that is true for research also. So if you start asking 5 W's and 1 H questions, you will probably cover anything about the topic. What is it? How is it? Why is it? Where is it? Where does this phenomena happen? Now each one of us will have your own research study. You will have your own aims. But अगर आप research theory की बात करें, so these are some of the major research objectives. So the first one is known as exploratory or formulative research. Okay, so this is a theory of research, and when you are doing any exploration or you're formulating research study, this is basically the idea is to gain familiarity with the phenomena or to achieve new insight into it. That is the purpose. ये phenomena है, I just want to know about the phenomena. I want to explore what is it. This is a volcanic region, I want to explore about the biodiversity. Okay, I am not asking why it is like this, how is it like this. Right now, इस तरह की study में I'll only be doing a systematic taxonomy kind of study. What is the flora, fauna around this? What is the biodiversity around it? That would be an exploratory kind of research. Right? Second is known as descriptive research. Descriptive research में you want to accurately tell about whatever you may be researching an individual, a situation, or a group of people, or a group of cells, cancer cells, patients, diabetic patients, whatever. Okay? So when you are trying to find out the characteristics of a particular thing, you are describing whatever you have decided as scope of your research, that type of research is known as descriptive research. Now, if you want to find out some values, how much? So you want to determine the frequency. How often is this phenomena happening? Okay, what is, for example, smoking is causing cancer. What is the frequency of this happening in North Indian population? Right? So these type of studies where we are trying to do association type of studies are known as correlative or diagnostic research. Then finally you have research which are dealing with cause and effect. ये ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है, ये ऐसा हो रहा है क्योंकि ऐसा होता है. And normally ऐसे रिसर्च के लिए we set up a hypothesis. For cause and effect, we set up a hypothesis. Falana is happening because this is anti-cancer drug because the drug is antioxidative properties, for example. Right? So you set up a null hypothesis and you do your experiment. So such studies are known as hypothesis testing research studies. Now once you have decided whatever is your motivation, what is the object of your research, you will be coming to something which we call as research topic. आपका research का topic क्या है? ऐसे पूछेंगे आप लोग. Right? So research topic is a broad subject matter which is being investigated in a study. So for students in my group, it could be antimicrobial activity. For others, it is some broad area that you talk about, right? Cancer research. Or for pharmacy students, maybe some herbal green synthesis, also chemistry, green synthesis of nanoparticles. Now, whatever is your research topic, when you say topic, it should focus the study to a defined manageable level. It can't be very broad. I can't say my research topic is microbiology. My research topic is pharmaceutical sciences. So when you say research topic, you have to have a manageable level. What does a manageable level mean? Means it should be, you should be able to do something in that topic. The topic that you decide as your research topic should provide structure to the scientific method that you are going to design. So, and it should include research problem or gap, research question and research need. Okay, these are three important things which should come when you decide to write down your research topic. Now many people spend a lot of time in defining their research problem because this is one of the most important part of your research. कि आप किस चीज पे रिसर्च करने वाले हैं? ठीक है, एंटीमाइक्रोबियल रेजिस्टेंस पे है, लेकिन एग्जैक्टली what are you going to do research on? So research problem is also often known as research gap because in order to identify what is the research problem, you somewhere also need to know what is the existing research and what are the things in that are not very clear. Okay? So a research problem or a gap is usually an area or condition that is unsatisfactory in that particular topic. It needs improvement. We don't know much about it. Requires new answers. Maybe there is a contradiction in that topic. Okay, for example, it could be, for example, take any drug component, take azaractin, neem extract. Now, whether neem extract is useful in pregnant women or not, okay? Or what is its antiviral properties? Which viruses does it work against or not? There are some studies that says that it works against certain pests. There are other studies that say it does not. So that may be a research problem that you want to investigate. For example, that under what conditions does this particular active ingredient work? What conditions it does not work? The same could be true for any physical phenomena. Okay? There could be conflicting theories about an issue. There could be insufficient studies or insufficient research papers. So many people decide to choose a research by looking at इसमें कितने research papers छपे हैं. अगर बहुत सारे research papers छपे हैं तो इसको नहीं करते हैं, कुछ और करते हैं. इसमें सिर्फ 2-3 ही research papers हैं. So कई बार जब आप कोई research grant लिखेंगे या आपको अपना research का basis बताना पड़ेगा, justification बताना पड़ेगा, इनमें से कोई भी points को आप लेके justify कर सकते हैं कि आपने वही research topic या problem को क्यों choose किया है. और ये आपको करना पड़ेगा जब आपकी RDC होगी तब. You will start your research proposal by always defining what research topic you have taken and why. Why is this important to study? Why should somebody give you money? Why should somebody give you fellowship of so many rupees a month? Is it something that you are doing that is going to be useful to the society? Okay? Or to the definition of research as we have seen it, abhi tak. Is it improving on new knowledge? Is it creating new technology? Okay? So all that will be answered here. And mind you, research could also be like this, that there are insufficient research papers, maybe there's a lot of study done about a particular plant product in the US, but we have no information about it here. इंडिया में फॉर एग्जाम्पल एक ऑर्गेनिज्म हमने शुरू किया था ऑलमोस्ट 5 years पहले काम करने के लिए, अ बैक्टीरिया जिसके रिसर्च पेपर्स जापान में बहुत पब्लिश हुए थे, थाईलैंड में पब्लिश हुए थे, लेकिन इंडिया में हार्डली पेपर थे उस पर. एंड दिस वाज अ बैक्टीरिया व्हिच वाज कॉजिंग पोटैटो डिजीज. सो आई फाउंड इट स्लाइटली फनी कि मलेशिया में रिपोर्टेड है, साउथ ईस्ट एशिया में रिपोर्टेड है, और इंडिया में क्यों नहीं इस पे काम हो रहा है. सो वी टुक दैट अप and we focused with molecular studies and whatnot, and we were able to show that that particular pathogen is also present in our country, albeit not in a high incident percentage compared to other pathogens which were previously reported. But still, at least this type of research, अगर और कोई वो research करने आता है, एक basis तो बन गया अपने देश का. तो कोई कहता है कि यार ये किस तरह का research है, लोग repeat कर रहे हैं चीजें, जो US में होता है वो यहाँ कर रहे हैं. It could be important. It could be important from the Indian scenario point of view. Okay, so rather than going by people's opinion, you as a scientist or we as a scientist will have to define: is it really important for me to know whether this particular phenomena is geography based or not? Should I be investing money in trying to identify whether this phenomena is true to my country or not? For example, it could also be with respect to people, certain disease. Incidence of certain disease. So many diseases, for example, which may be present in low-income group people, may be neglected because research funding is not in that particular research. Maybe that is a gap that you identify. Maybe in your village around from where you come, you find certain level of starvation or nutritional deficiency. Maybe the nutritional deficiency is because of the deficiency in the crop that is being produced there. Maybe जो wheat या rice वहाँ पे grow कर रहा है, that is nutritionally deficient. You go your research, find out the soil is deficient. Right? So maybe some chemical analysis needs to be done about the soil. Maybe there is only selenium deficiency. ऐसा भी नहीं कि बहुत vitamin. You find out कि कोई micronutrient deficiency के कारण इस particular village के population में फलाना disease आ रहा है. Right? So research problem helps clearly define the research topic, so that dedicated and focused efforts are made on relevant areas. Research problems have to be purpose focused and specific, always. And typically, a research problem should include within its statement situation or circumstances that require a solution to be described, invented, explained, predicted, whatever. For example, ये potato वाला जो मैं स्टोरी बता रही थी आपको, हमारा स्टार्टिंग स्टेटमेंट क्या होगा? Potato, for example, there are many phytopathogens, plant pathogens, which are affecting potato crop in Uttar Pradesh, where the economics of potato are so many crore rupees. So my research is going to involve identifying the main pathogens that are involved in this, so that corrective action can be taken. पता चला for this pathogen जो pesticide use कर रहे हैं, जो भी agents use कर रहे हैं, they are not effective against a pathogen which has not been studied and is actually prevalent. Okay? So in your statement has to be very crisp and clear, and this crisp and clarity of statement will define whatever study you are going to do. Now some problems may not be researchable, and you can include that also in your research problem. Okay, for example, if I say that in the village, because potato or wheat crop is being destroyed, is resulting in malnutrition, and that could be a part of my research problem. Even though I may not be doing research in that, it can be part of my research problem. It could be addressed as a part of the research problem because it gives gravity to my problem. Okay, it gives me a purpose to do that problem. It may not be exactly a part of my research. So the last blue line is talking about why the problem is important, because your problem will determine the design. आप कैसे स्टडी करने वाले हो, exactly कौन से क्वेश्चंस पूछने वाले हो, and this is going to determine your result. Now, what are the sources of research problems? Where can you find out your own research problems? So first is theories. So the next topic, I do not have time today, and next topic we'll be covering will be research and theory. So many sources of your problem are going to be theories that are already existing. Okay, so there are going to be some theories which have come from previous work. Somebody else has done the work. You start with that work, and you may decide to confirm or contradict that theory. ये already exists करता है, but my research is going to show, yeah, it is true, or no, this is not true. Under falana conditions, it doesn't exist. The source of the research problem, like I said, could be a personal issue. Around your village you see something. So your research, for example, for people who are in pharmacy, there could be some local indigenous herbal treatment which has yet not been explored into the market as a product. हमारे गांव में हमारी दादी माँ ऐसे करती थी, पर उसका अभी साइंटिफिक बेसिस नहीं है. That can be the basis of your research. या ये पौधा हमारे गांव में इस चीज के लिए इस्तेमाल करते हैं. Can we take that plant, maybe do all kind of chemical, physical analysis and come up with active ingredients? That can be your entire 5 years of research. Replication, new twist on previous study. Like I told you, it could be geographical based, it could be age based. Okay, you can just vary the variable. Study already हो चुका है, you're changing the variable, and you may find new results out of that. You could change organism. Now, previous study has been done with gram-positive organisms. You are trying to see whether it works on gram-negative organisms. But it has been done on fungi. Fungus पे दिखाया है activity. हम कोरोना वायरस पे टेस्ट कर रहे हैं. Right? BCG vaccine का निकला था बीच में. Indian population was apparently not affected because we were all BCG vaccinated. Right? So that's theory. Now, of course, you'll have to look at research papers and do the analysis to know whether it actually turned out to be true or not. Did BCG vaccinated people finally succumb or be infected with coronavirus or not, for example, right? And then last, we want to clarify your understanding. So there is an understanding about the subject, but I am going to design experiments to know more about it. ऐसा ही क्यों हो रहा है? ऐसा होता है? क्यों हो रहा है? कैसे हो रहा है? ऐसे करने से क्या होगा? So that could be your research problem. This is important. हमने problem ये बनाया कि phenomena पता है, but we don't know how it is. That is my research problem. I am going to address how a drug works. Okay, how does curcumin actually work? Now, part of the research topic is research question. What research question are you asking? Again, most people will tell you, particularly this is a very, very important field in research in business management. What kind of research question you are asking? Because your question can determine the entire direction of your research. आपने क्या सवाल पूछा है? अब आप खुद ही सोच के देखिए कि अगर मैंने ऐसा सवाल पूछा कि मैं विमेन में स्टडी करना चाह रही हूँ कि या गर्ल्स in puberty or adolescent girls, I want to test this drug to see if their height increases. That is my question. Okay. What are the factors which affect the effect of a drug on height or muscle growth? It's a similar thing. Question I have changed. What parameters will I be measuring? Could be having to do with muscle, all kind of things to do with bone density, muscle. My entire research design changes. So the kind of question you ask is going to be very important. So more than research, so research topic बड़ा हो गया, research problem आपने identify कीजिए, लेकिन exactly जो सवाल आप पूछते हो, उस पे आपका design of experiment depend करता है. So a refined statement of specific component of the research problem is known as research question. Many times our research problem will be broken into more than one question. That is always possible. Okay? Like I told you, a research question is going to guide what kind of data is required, what kind of experiments are you going to do, what kind of data are you going to generate. Typically, research question is always worded in present tense, not in past. In present tense, not in future tense. हम करेंगे नहीं. Present tense. Okay? And you should typically, a good research question will have only one or few variables. If if your number of, आप लोगों ने already statistics की class की है, so you know what is variable, right? So you have to define how many variables are you going to put into your research. Too many variables, too much confusion. At least one research question, keep one, maximum two variables. You change your research question, you can change your variable. But don't put too many variables into the same research question. कि मुझे ये भी देखना है, ये भी देखना है, इसका इफेक्ट भी देखना है, उसका भी इफेक्ट देखना है, तो पूरा कंफ्यूजन हो जाएगा. Okay? Now, questions can be two kinds: closed-end questions and open-ended questions. So, closed-ended questions are typically answered by facts. So, you could ask the question कि come up with a closed-end question. Anybody? Closed-end question क्या होगा? जिसका कि जवाब आपको as is मिलेगा. इस रूम में कितने व्यक्ति हैं आज क्लास में? There is a definite answer for this. Okay, so that is a closed-end question. In your research also you can ask those kind of questions. How many people, or what percentage of cells are affected by falana drug, for example? Okay. But if you ask a real good research question, good research questions are always open-ended questions. Okay, because your open-ended question will be based on fact, but it will require interpretation. ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है? कितने लोग हैं ये नहीं. इस क्लास में इतने लोग ही क्यों आते हैं? Suppose 200 लोग हैं, but 100 people are coming. Closed-end question: how many people are coming? I can make a graph for 3 months. कितना attendance आया? But if I want to do an analysis of how many people came, why they came, why people didn't come, what is the motivation for coming? These become open-ended questions towards my researching that in the PhD students who have joined CSGM University, what is the level of motivation for attending pre-PhD coursework? Should we be taking so much effort in taking these classes, for example? Right? So an open-ended research question will always give you far more information and be of high quality research compared to closed questions that you are asking. So this will take some time, so maybe we can close the class here today and we will continue with the research process next time. Thank you so much.